And this broadcast is brought to you by 106th Street Tire and Wheel, your leader for all your tire and auto repair. 10601 Northern Boulevard in Corona, New York. Good evening, one and all. Welcome to the Tuesday night Talk to New York Sports. I'm your host for tonight, Mr. Chet, joined as always by my cohort, Mr. Steele. Hello, Mr. Steele. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. Yo, this is like first take. It's just me and you tonight, bro.
I love it like this. Yes, sir.
Mano y mano, man.
Mano y mano, baby. But put it this way, you're much better looking than Stephen A. Smith, and I'm uglier looking than Mike Greenberg. So,
we're good. We're golden, brother. Golden.
I love it. I love it.
Listen, we gotta get our production company acting right. They putting up stuff on without our permission right now, man.
Exactly.
Don't put up anything without permission. But go ahead, Chet.
All righty. So it's been a busy week this week in New York sports. Look at that. Love that ball. There it is. There it is. Yes, sir. So on the plate for tonight, and we're going to talk about this first because this was a very hot weekend when it comes to the NFL draft for
Absolutely.
both New York teams. On my opinion, I have to say this as the non-Jet fan I am. I was actually very impressed with what the Jets did. Very much so. Very much so. I mean, they did very well with their picks. Can't complain. I would love that Sauce on the Giants. Great pick by them. Loved how he came out, though, when he came out on his – love the bling bling he had on.
Only problem I have with that is I feel like these diva type guys, when you come out like that, you set yourself up. I think you just come out with a nice suit, give the commissioner a little hug, and then show him prove on the field. Because the minute he doesn't show up on defense, they're gonna compare. I heard people comparing him to Eli Apple, and he didn't even get to that going first practice yet. So I wish he would. I like the outfit, I like the bling, but I wish he would have calmed it down just a tad bit.
So
but I actually, it was funny because I was watching the draft, and when we got Sauce, I was typing it in our group, and I was like, listen, I was like, y'all gonna have to get Tib. And before I can finish typing it, they got Tib. It was like he was gone. So and I feel like the draft for the New York period was the best draft in about maybe 10 years.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, like I said. And I like what the Jets did, trading back up in the first round.
Oh, to get what's it, Johnson?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Listen, I feel like before the draft, we had a conversation on the show about this year's draft. And I feel like this year's draft was a win-win for the Giants and Jets because there was so much defensive players that were available for two franchises that need to shore up their defense.
Right.
Their defensive line, I feel like it was just a great draft for the Giants and the Jets. I feel like this year New York teams are going to finally have New York fans are going to have something to cheer about.
Yeah, well, I agree with you there. And I looked at it when we were talking about last week. There was a lot of good players, like I said, offensive line, edge rushers.
Edge rushers galore.
Right, exactly. Wide receivers galore. Because if you look at the draft, what the Giants did, I think they did the smart thing by getting Thibodeau first.
Absolutely. Because he wasn't going to stay on the board.
Right, because Carolina was interested in him, in Thibodeau. Right. That they were. But then when I looked at it and I was watching the draft, I'm sitting to myself going, okay, Sauce is gone. That was the other possibility I thought they would do with that first pick. Mm-hmm. Once it was gone, I'm sitting to myself going, take Thibodeau. Those offensive linemen will still be there. One of the two big ones.
And thank goodness. Listen, I think the draft, this is the first time I actually watched the draft, man. And it thanks to the Panthers.
Yeah.
Things just worked. It worked out perfectly. Like they did us the biggest favor. Like I don't know if they was in our pocket. I think maybe Sam Darnold was doing the picks or something because it's like he helped New York out. I mean, they helped New York out greatly. But like I said, I can't wait for the OTAs and stuff to start. I can't wait. I want to see what these teams are going to do. I also like the fact that somebody gave the Giants like a B minus, a B plus on their drafts. I think they got an A plus to me. I don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that for both teams. I give the Jets an A+. I give the Giants an A. By far.
I like the fact that the Giants didn't pick up Daniel Jones' 5th-year option.
Right.
Make him earn. Everything has to be earned for the New York teams from this point forward. If you're not competing and showing what you're doing on the field, next man up. I'm glad that the Jets didn't chase after Debo, didn't give up no draft picks.
Yeah. And the funny thing was what they were saying was the best offer was the Jets offer. It was a 1st round and a 6th rounder.
For some reason, they thought that he was worth more. I'm glad that it all worked out for
because I scratched my head when I heard that. I'm going, there was no way San Francisco was taking that type of deal. No way.
It worked out. I mean, I'm glad everything fell according to what I wished for. I didn't want to speak on it because I felt like I might do a Lou, might be a mush, and I put negative energy on. So I felt like I just being quiet and letting the wheels turn as they did. It was really exciting. I think to get off the Giants and the Jets for a minute, I'll pause. What giving up AJ Brown? I was confused.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything about that he was on the market for anybody.
I was while I was watching, I was like, wait a minute. I had to read it like 3 times. I was like, wait a minute, that must be some type of misprint. But listen, I don't know how a team that needs offensive weapons give up their primary offensive weapon. I don't understand.
Yeah, and I don't get that either because I look at it this way. What happened with that? And then all of a sudden you hear a little while later that you hear AJ Brown going to Arizona. Yeah, it was Kyler Murray's former college teammate.
Right.
In school. But then I sat there and thought, why is Arizona making this trade? I said, something's got to be up. And I told this to Law. I said, something's got to be up when it comes to that. And then all of a sudden, 3 days later, DeAndre Hopkins got a 6-game suspension.
And usually when you get those type of suspensions, the first thing you hear is, oh, they're going to fight it, whatever. He's not even fighting it. So he's saying he didn't do anything wrong, but he's not fighting it. So I don't understand what's going on. Listen, he's 31 this year?
Yeah, I don't know what that was about. That was crazy.
Listen, he's 31 this year. He's on the wrong side of receivers age bracket going forward. So listen, I feel sorry for the brother, but time to move on. A lot of people didn't like that trade in the first place.
Yeah, either did I. I definitely did not like it. I mean, I like Hollywood Brown. Don't get me wrong. But he's a good receiver. But when I heard that to Arizona, I'm going, is that an upgrade from what they had with Christian Kirk last year? I don't think it was.
I think it's just filling the spot.
That's what I'm thinking too.
It's just filling the spot.
So let me ask you a question. What was your surprise in the first round?
I didn't have any surprise. It kind of flowed like a river. I didn't see any surprise. I didn't see anything that was like, oh wow. What's the kid's name? He went kind of early. Matter of fact, no, he didn't go early. I think the surprise of the draft was the Jets getting Johnson so late. He was projected to go very early.
Yeah, he was supposed to be like a top 10 pick.
Right, and I think that was the surprise when he was still on the board at that time. I think that was the biggest surprise in my opinion. But according to watching the draft, it was nothing like I was like, oh okay, no. Oh wait, I will say Pittsburgh taking quarterback.
Kenny Pickett. I was going to say
that was kind of surprising.
Now I was too because I'm saying to myself, I'm watching the whole telecast and they're sitting there going, oh well, they're looking for the other kid to be the top guy, Willis, and it was like okay. Then all of a sudden they pick Pickett, and I'm like looking at myself going, why him in the first round?
I think it was a reach at best. Only thing I would say is Pittsburgh has not had they haven't picked a doggone quarterback in 100 years, but they usually are pretty due diligence when it comes to their quarterback. And also the way they run their offense, you don't really need a prime time quarterback. You just need somebody that's going to be able to complete those passes. Because they strive on their defense, their running game, their ground and pound, and listen, Thompson he's just an outstanding coach. I feel like he's gonna be able to put that young man in some outstanding situations for him to succeed, kind of how Belichick did last year with Jones. So I thought it was a reach, but hopefully they saw something that us as fans and people that love sports didn't see. That's all I can say.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on that. I mean, you look at it that way, and I mean, will it work for Pittsburgh? Who knows? I mean, they have Mason Rudolph there. Probably be the starter to start the season.
Whoa.
They're going to be starting.
Let's not say no. It's not Mason.
But that's who they have right now. Pencil is the starter right now for them.
Not Mason. Not Mason.
Here's the thing. Let's listen to today. Now you have a quarterback that a lot of teams are going to go after in Nick Foles.
Yeah, I agree.
Foles was released.
Listen, they're going to go after Nick Foles.
Yeah.
I wouldn't doubt that. The quarterback I feel the most sorry for is Mr. Baker Mayfield.
Yes.
He's in like a lose situation.
Yeah. It was like you hearing every team that needed a quarterback had rumors about him during the draft. Every team you can think of that needed one. Carolina, Seattle, Pittsburgh. All these teams. We're all talking about, what we train for Baker, what we get in this, what we get in that. And he's going nowhere.
I think Baker hurt himself by putting out those trade me, don't want to be here, disconnecting himself from the team. I feel like if Baker would have handled it a little bit better, more of a professional, like just letting the cards play out, maybe more teams would have been open to see what he can do. But no one wants to bring in somebody that already is a kind of a headache. I think Baker should have just eased his way out of the system, didn't cause because you didn't do much to prove anything to anybody or any team. That he was a middle of a pack quarterback. His team did make the playoffs the year before, all right? But I know he was hurt, but he really didn't show anything to anybody this year to make people feel like, okay, we had to go out and get Baker Mayfield. And by him, like I said, not acting like a grown man should act, kind of damaged his credibility, in my opinion. I think that's why nobody really went extra to get him. I almost said something else.
Yeah, I think a lot of these teams at Cleveland, they're asking too high for what they're looking for. I mean, look, I've heard anywhere from a first and a second rounder to like a second and a third next year, stuff like that. Teams aren't going to make that type of deal. Were you going to trade a 1 and a 2? No, that's not happening. That's definitely not happening. With a quarterback like that.
What I think is going to happen with Baker, I don't think they're going to cut him personally, because remember he's going to be suspended for at least 6 games. Watch it.
Well, you think right. You don't know that yet, but we're all in agreement. I think he will get suspended for some type of time.
All right, so you're going to need a quarterback. I think what Baker should do is like just show up and put together some short film for another team. This is the NFL. Somebody's going to get hurt.
Of course,
quarterback don't get hurt.
Yep.
He doesn't need to sit out and pout, because there's so many backup quarterbacks out there waiting for a starting job.
Yeah.
So he doesn't want to be that quarterback where they're like, well, this guy, he didn't want to show up camp. He didn't want to participate in OTAs. And he didn't. He doesn't want that reputation, especially a quarterback looking for a job. It's never beneficial for a quarterback looking for a job to act like they're better than their worth. You know what I mean? Right. So hopefully Baker shows up. I don't know who needs to speak to the man. Just be quiet, and hopefully another team will pick you up.
So let me bring that up to you. What team do you think he get traded to?
At this point, all the teams that I thought he would go to are gone. Like, I think the only chance Baker has right now is playing that injury wire. Somebody that's going to get hurt. And he has to go to a team that runs a system similar to what his skills are. What quarterbacks, what places like that are out there right now? Well, I think the Panthers.
Right. There's 3 teams up there. The Panthers are definitely one. No doubt about that. I would sit there still and say the Steelers. Still.
Listen, listen, I'm not an owner. I'm a coach, anything like that. But I would rather have Baker than
Mason Rudolph?
Mason Rudolph, yeah. I don't know. But again, I believe if Baker would have kept his mouth closed, he would have been more of a shot to get in that position than he is right now.
But that's what a lot of football players are doing these days, pretty much. If they're not happy, they're opening their mouths. They're going to Twitter. They're going to Facebook. They're going to get me the hell out of here. When it comes to that stuff.
That works when you have value.
I think Baker has value. I think he's got some value. I would say like he was a couple years when he was the number one choice. No. But I think he's got some value on teams that use a quarterback.
Okay. What team?
Well, like I said, the three I was looking at, like I said, was Carolina. Okay. Pittsburgh for sure. And I'll give you another team that you'll be surprised at. I heard about this the other day. And I thought about it. I go, it's not a bad insurance policy. The Cowboys.
No, I can't argue. You know what?
I did the same thing you did. I thought about it for a second. I'm going, you know what? That is not a bad situation he can go to.
To sit behind Dak, you know what I'm saying? Get some reps in case he gets hurt or whatever.
Right.
It's not a bad look.
You know Dak's going to get hurt. He's got that big contract still.
Right.
You know that I say that would not be a bad place for him to go.
But is Baker willing to be someone's backup? That's the question.
Yes.
Is he gonna be able to swallow his pride, his ego, his big commercials and stuff like that in order to be a successful backup to earn his spot again back in somebody's rotation?
I think he's gonna have to. At this point, he's definitely gonna have to. Okay, because like I say, he's not starting in Cleveland anymore. We know that already. It's done. Unless the show gets suspended, like you said, for that time. Then it's be like you don't know.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
But then you got to look at a team also that's either going to be that you're young, that you have a young team that you use a veteran quarterback. Okay. Or you're going to look at a team that's very successful and he's going to be like a big time backup for a top team.
At this juncture in the road, I feel like he doesn't have a lot of options. I feel like the first olive branch to get thrown to him, he needs to grab onto it and for dear life, hold on for dear life, because if he sits in obscurity for 6-7 months, you know how the NFL is. It's out of sight, out of mind.
Exactly. So
he better grab on to the first olive branch that he can possibly hold on to save his NFL career, because I mean, I'm not going to say it was all on him. The Browns didn't do him any favors. The organization kind of threw him under the bus.
Yeah.
No, kind of threw him under the bus. And like I said, for a guy to go out there and play injured for a year and be going through this type of situation, I feel is a mark on the Browns organization. But the Browns organization have so many marks at this point. Do they really care?
Of course, but that shows to me that Baker's a gamer, that he wants to play. No
right.
You've seen that.
I think Baker did that with the intention of showing the Browns that, hey, I'll give my last to you guys if you show me the same love back. And Baker did not receive the love back from the Browns. I think if Baker would have took the other route and said, you know what, I'm hurt, put me on the sideline, put this other guy in, he might have been better off, because he went out there with one shoulder and he already is not the most athletic man in the world. Yep. And what happened with him and that organization should be labeled as some type of crime, because what they did to that man was unnecessary and unwarranted. He gave his all for that team and he got really nothing in return.
Yeah, that's what it seems like. Right. He got treated, like you said, put him under the bus. You know, like I said, the team around him wasn't great. If you think about it, you had Landry, you had Odell Beckham, you had Nick Chubb. Okay. You had quality players, and he couldn't do it there. Now the offensive line wasn't great either. Don't get me wrong. After they had their big guy retire, at that point their offensive line was horrible. I think he needs to get out of there, get into a climate where a team is successful, where he can back up and go from there.
I believe now that Deshaun Watson is on Cleveland, I think Cleveland's whole plan from maybe like mid-season was to probably go after Deshaun Watson, and I feel like they stopped backing Baker at that time. So he was basically a dead man walking, and he knew it. But he's already in the catch-22. He plays and tries to get them where they wasn't going to go in the first place, or he sits out and it looks like he's crying about an injury that he could have played through. Again, I feel sorry for the guy. He deserves a lot better. But at this juncture, I don't see an NFL team picking him up as a starter.
Right.
And
unless somebody gets hurt, big time hurt in training camp, something like that.
Early. But again, what are they going to do? Because he has that $18 million.
Yeah, but I think what's going to happen is the teams are going to take him. They're going to use Cleveland to try to eat some of that money.
But if that was the case, wouldn't they have done it already?
Well, you don't know. Like I said, the only reason why, like I said, right now they're still waiting to hear on Deshaun, of course, like we were saying. You
All right,
don't
yeah.
know. You don't know if he's going to be suspended or not. If he's
No,
not, if he's suspended, you don't get paid.
that's 6 games. He's getting 6 games.
I'm thinking it's going to be longer. I'm thinking it'll be the full year.
No, I don't think it's going to be a year because the case is not gathering any momentum. It's like it's kind of falling apart. I think what's going to happen is for the NFL to show face to these young ladies all over the world, because even if he is innocent, the the court of public opinion is going to find him guilty. So
exactly. They already have most of the court of public opinion.
Right. So they're going to have to throw at least 6 games at him. He might appeal and get it down to 4 if he's lucky. If I was the NFL, I'll let him do the 6 games, leave Baker on the roster, let Baker start off the season, and hopefully the Sun will be there 6 games on and get them where they need to go. But as of right now, like I said, Baker's a dead man walking.
So other than the 2 New York teams in the draft, which team do you think had a good draft overall?
Out of all the teams?
Besides the 2 New York teams.
Let's see now. That's a good question. To me, it's like I listened to Mel's big board, and it kind of went according to what he said. Right. So it wasn't like okay, this team got a surprise pick, or this team it was no surprises. So everybody kind of went according to Mel's big board. I don't see. To me, nobody did better than the Giants and the Jets.
Well, I have one team that's right up there with them.
Who's that?
With them, the Baltimore Ravens.
You know what? I was going to say the Ravens too, but after the trade kind of threw me off their picks. But they did pretty well. They're nowhere near the success of the New York teams, but their draft was pretty good.
Oh, yeah. Well, like I said, they basically picked up, I thought, the best safety in Kyle Hamilton.
Yes, they did.
Who you guys were looking at as a possibility. Yes. You also guys were looking at the center, Tyler Linderbaum, the best center in the draft. You were looking at the baby at the beginning of the second round.
Right. I was about to say, it's definitely second round.
And my surprise of the second round was when the other edge rusher from Michigan, David Ojabo, got picked by them. Because you're going to remember when they had Ojabo and Hutchinson, they were talking about them possibly being 1-2 in the draft.
Listen,
before Ojabo got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
But still, this guy's a player. I hate to tell you. Baltimore, I think, stole him in the second round.
But again, only reason I don't grade Baltimore as high, they still didn't give Jackson the weapons that he needs.
Right. I mean, he still has Andrews, I understand. But I think they're also in the talking about Debo also.
If they go get Debo somehow, then that will push their draft day up for me. But as of right now, what they really needed to me was help. They need some tight end help. They need some wide receiver help. And they didn't go get it as far as I'm concerned.
You guys did good with that position too, getting Garrett Wilson.
Yes.
Well, I thought it was a steal. I thought he'd be gone way before he even got a chance of him at 10. I thought Carolina might have taken him at 6. That's what I was looking at originally.
Listen, I don't know what Carolina was doing, but like I said, I thank them. I think Sam Darnold was doing the picks for us. I appreciate him.
He did the picks, huh?
No, he didn't. I'm just saying.
Why did he take Malik Willis in the 4th round then? Hello? You saw the quarterbacks. So the 3 top quarterbacks after that all went in the 4th round.
Yeah. They and you know what? That's what I like about the draft, but I also hate because they devalue these guys so greatly. They act like this. And I watch. Somebody's going to shine. I'm not sure which one is, but one of them is going to shine and prove all those draft doubters wrong. Remember, Russell went in the 3rd.
Yes.
Okay, so
yes.
Where did Tom go? Tom went 5th round or something like that?
6th. I'm talking about 7th round.
Okay. Yeah. Listen, they miss a lot. I mean, as of right now, last year's draft, year before his draft was pretty good quarterback-wise. Yes. All those guys pretty much.
Next year's supposed to be pretty good too.
They said at least 7 or 8.
I heard 6 at least. Yeah.
Listen,
at least.
And that and going back to what we were talking about with Baker, I feel that's what's going to hurt Baker. because there's so many good quarterbacks supposed to be coming out next year. Who's going to want to throw money at Baker right now?
Yeah, no, exactly. I agree with you with that. We still got the. I mean, my pick of the quarterback I think went to the best situation was the quarterback I thought I brought up to you guys would be a steal for a team was Desmond Ridder, Cincinnati, going to Atlanta.
And that's what I'm saying. He's going to be that quarterback. Or I don't know. I'm not going to.
Because right now you can have Mariota starting next year for them without a doubt.
Right.
I think he's in the perfect situation in Atlanta where he can sit there, watch for a year or two behind Mariota. Okay. They'll be backing him up. If he gets hurt, he'll come in. But he's got the right pieces around him. I mean, no Ridley, I understand that. But you got the beast in Kyle Pitts.
Right.
In there. Okay. He's a beast. You watch him. I said that's another team I was looking at. Deebo Samuel was also Atlanta. I heard it was like 12 or 13 teams were asked San Francisco. You know what they look for Deebo.
Listen, the Deebo situation, I feel like it's something wrong there, because I feel like if he was as good as we're portraying him to be, a trade would have happened already. We're missing something from the sidelines. I'm not sure what it is. I even heard a report them saying that the coach is what made him successful, which is outrageous to me.
Yeah. Kingsbury. Kingsbury's a great offensive mind.
I'm not listen. He's not running the routes. He's not catching the ball. It's Deebo catching the ball.
It's all Deebo, right?
So what they're trying to say that Deebo's a situational receiver. He's not.
He's
but I think that's the picture they were trying to paint, so no one would really go extra to try to get him, because it's something wrong there. That guy wanted to be traded. This new NFL, when you want to get traded, you ask for a trade, and you're a diva receiver.
Yeah,
you usually get what you want. So
look what happened to Odell last year. Perfect example.
Listen, and look what happened. Yeah, he got a championship.
Super Bowl, hurts himself in the Super Bowl, wins the Super Bowl ring.
There it is. So
it's crazy. It's crazy. But I said this will be an interesting. Like I said, this will definitely be an interesting NFL season for sure this year. On all the teams, even Buffalo, same thing. You know, like I said, they've done what they had to. They had a good draft, also. They did.
Listen, right now, I said it earlier. I'm gonna say it again. It's up to these guys to show and prove. Like that's where we're at right now. The coaching staff for the Jets and the Giants have to step up and put these guys in successful situations so these teams can be successful. If they don't, if you can get the best draft picks in the world, if you don't put them in a successful situation, they're going to stink.
Yeah.
Okay. Period. Bottom line. So now the page has to be turned. It's time for the coaching staff to put together some outstanding plays and assignments for these guys to be successful.
Right. And my next question is: out of the both of the Giants choices, Jets and Giants, who starts Week 1?
Say again.
Is it out of the draft choices that the Jets had in the first round, the Giants had in the first round? Who starts Week 1?
I really want to stay away from that right now, because I feel like these guys got to prove themselves. If I throw out a name and he doesn't prove himself in OTAs, then it's like nothing. No, they're drafted to play now. Right. All these first round draft picks are supposed to be play nows. They should be plug and plays. So anybody that's not ready to play right now is, when we say, is a bust.
Right.
Right. I really want to see Sauce out there. I know he's going to be on the field immediately.
Right.
I think Tibbs is going to be for the Giants.
Absolutely.
I think he's on the field immediately.
Yes. Absolutely.
Okay?
He'll be on the field.
And then the chips may fall as they may.
I think in my team, I think Thibodeau's going to start Week 1 without a doubt. And I think Johnson's starting Week 1 for your Jets.
Oh, yes.
I think he's starting Week 1 over the other two.
Yes. And you know why? Yeah. Because I don't know if you've seen his face, but that guy he didn't look happy going that late.
Yeah. Oh no, he was pissed.
All right.
So he actually, you said he thought he was a top 10 player.
Yeah.
That's what he thought. He heard they had an interview with him on NFL Network. Basically saying he thought he was going to be a top 10 pick. He said that he thought he was going they think the furthest state was thinking of going back, I think it was like to New Orleans at pick 12.
he's going to have something to prove, and I'm pretty sure he's going to prove it.
Yeah, I think he starts week 1, and like I said, I know Devo's starting week 1, no doubt.
Yes, sir.
So, all right. So now that we got that done, let's talk about the NBA playoffs. That's been very interesting, and you're already shaking your head. So, Mr. Steele, what do you think so far of the NBA playoffs so far?
I'm going to start with James Harden. No, I'm going to start with the Philadelphia 76ers.
Okay.
I as a basketball fan, I was very hard on the Knicks and the Nets franchise. I felt like they made a lot of bad decisions during the year, but I have never seen a team self-implode like the Philadelphia 76ers every year. Mm-hmm. You are up 30 points in a closeout game, and you have your center, your star, supposed to be MVP center in the game while you're up 30 points. Mm-hmm. Guess what happens when you do that? Your star player gets hurt. Mm-hmm. Right? Strike 1. Strike 2. You picked up James Harden, right? Because he was supposed to be your number 2. Okay? Now Maxey basically is your number 2. James is your number 3, falling to number 4 because Harris is not Harris.
Yeah, Tobias Harris. I think to me, and I said that last week as the key to the series is what Tobias Harris does.
Yeah, listen. This team is going no further than what Harris takes them to because it's not Harden. I don't know what happened. I don't know if somebody put some kryptonite in his cornflakes, but James, I mean, he's not the same player.
No.
He can't beat anybody off the dribble. His jump shot, I don't know what happened to it. He's getting, I mean, they're taking the ball from him as he's bringing the ball up court. He's a shell of himself. I don't know.
He's getting old. That's what it is. He's getting old.
Bro, he's only 31.
That's getting old quick. If you look at all the stars in the league, that's it. I look at this way, and I've been watching that series. I watched that game the other night with them. Tobias Harris carried that team as far as they can go, and they still lost.
They lost the game because I feel like they were trying to get James in. I think Doc was trying to get James going, and I think he should have tried more to keep feeding Harris. Give the ball to Harris. Get some plays for him because he was the offense. And I love what Maxey's doing. He's definitely stepped up his game, but he took a lot of unadvised shots for me. And I'm saying to myself, the game they were making a run, and then all of a sudden, Maxey's taking bad shots. James is missing shots. James is getting beat off the. He's a defensive liability, and he's now not playing any offense. And to go even further, the third strike on the Philadelphia 76ers is the fact that if they don't pick up his player option for signing for the seat, they're gonna look super stupid.
Yep.
Because now you gotta offer that man $200-something million contract, and he's not worth a bag of wise potato chips.
Oh, you mean chips like this thing you're talking about?
Yes, he's not worth that. So what is Philadelphia gonna do? Joel Embiid, if I was Joel Embiid, I'll be asking for a trade. Get me the hell out of here. First, you had me go through what's the guy's name with the hitch in his shoulder? He went to Orlando. Markelle.
Yeah, Markelle Fultz. Yeah,
right.
Markelle
he was a disaster.
Right.
Ben Simmons is a disaster. You bring in Harden. He's a disaster.
Right.
Now you're hoping and praying that Maxey could do something for the team to take this dark cloud off. But you know what? I think they're gonna get swept. I don't think they stand a chance. And
they're talking about Embiid being possibly back for Game 3. That's what I heard today.
Listen, if he comes back for Game 3, NBA playoffs is about momentum. He comes in Game 3. I mean, even if what's going to be different? They're still not. They're still missing a guard.
Well, I don't think First of all, I don't think Miami's going to get easy baskets like they got the other night. They're not going to get that many easy baskets. Okay.
Listen,
There was too many easy baskets that Philly gave up. Way too many easy
Listen,
baskets.
they were playing without Laurie. Laurie's
Right.
son coming back too. It's going to get worse.
Yeah.
Listen, Tyler Hero didn't even unleash his hero superpowers.
Right. And he had 25.
And he wasn't playing that hard. He was cruising.
I tell you, he wasn't playing at home. He was Bam Adebayo.
He wasn't playing. He wasn't.
And he put up like over 20.
They were, to me, they were playing with Philadelphia.
Yeah.
The effort wasn't even 100%. And I feel like when ND comes back, they're going to kick it up a notch, and they're going to get him out of there.
Yeah. I mean, I said all along, I said Miami's winning the series in 6. I said that from the start. But I said, if Embiid don't come back, you're right. This could be an easily sweep for them. Yeah.
And then where does Doc stand on this? Again, another team that should have been successful. He coached into, I mean, the most stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. I mean, everybody was saying, why is this man in the game? And then he comes in the interview and says, he's not the only coach that would have left him in the game. Are you kidding me?
Are you kidding me? No. No.
So you coach according to what other coaches do? That's how you set up your coaching assignment? And he said they had their starters in. So what? You were up 30, beating their starters.
Yeah. Their starters should be in because you're down 30 and trying to come back.
Exactly. What are you talking about, Doc? Like he's a disaster. I was a Doc Rivers fan. He's a disaster.
To me, I always thought he was an overrated coach. Or even in Boston, when he's in Boston, overrated. Overrated.
Right. To me, sometimes the right pieces make a coach look outstanding.
Right.
Yeah. But listen, man, this moving on from Philadelphia. I mean, I think Miami's going to get rid of them. Gentlemen's sweep 5-1. If LB comes back in game 3, I'll give them one game. I think Miami gets them out of there early. I'm going to move over to Milwaukee
and Boston. Okay.
I'll say this.
Go ahead.
I feel like I didn't give Giannis his proper respect over the last couple of years. Giannis is a superstar. Giannis, to me, I might get criticized on this, but I think he's better than Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant, excuse me. I think he's a player that makes his team better. He does everything for his team. He had a poor scoring performance and still then they had a triple-double. Rebounds, passing, scoring. Giannis does everything for his team. What else could you ask for from a player? You got one of your Batman out, and the team is not missing a beat. The Celtics look like well, first of all, the Celtics make me feel really, really bad for Brooklyn because the Celtics look awful against the Bucks. So how bad really is Brooklyn?
Well, I'll put it right out to you right now. Tonight, they're up 17 already in the second quarter, Boston is.
Oh, Boston.
You're up 17 already without Marcus Smart tonight, too.
Listen, Giannis is a problem. That lead is, I don't think is going to stay.
I'll go on the reverse side with you with Giannis. Okay. Yes, he is a very good ball player. I will definitely give you that. He gets away with murder.
I agree.
He should be fouling out just so much every other game because he does so much offensive fouls. It's not even a joke what he does. He pushes off. He runs into guys. Like I said, thank God. I watched the game the other night. Okay. He had 4 fouls in the middle of the third quarter. He should have been fouled out in the second quarter.
Well, the superstars are going to get certain. Right. Like, to me, he travels a lot.
I think right now he gets more than any other superstar in the NBA. Calls. Anybody. That includes Durant. That includes LeBron. That includes anybody superstar you can think of. He gets away with the most murder.
He's a 2-time MVP. Listen, Jordan got away with stuff for years.
Oh, yeah.
When you're the so-called face of the NBA, you're going to get away with a lot. Just like James. When James was a star, James got away with a lot of stuff. But he's not a star no more. He's not getting those ticky-tack fouls he's looking for. I mean, that's what happens when you become a star. I mean, listen, you don't get away with a lot. I'm just reading something, so we're not going to mention the Jazz.
Oh, we'll mention the Jazz. But I look at it this way. Milwaukee's got better pieces around him, okay, than Brooklyn does, okay? I think more than Boston has. They don't have it as much as Miami. I can tell you that. But they've got decent pieces around them. You got Bobby Portis. You got Brook Lopez. Okay, you got guys who are solid players. Okay, you got Matthews. I think right now the most hated player in the NBA is actually showing in the playoffs in Grayson Allen.
He definitely stepped into the place of Middleton, but but that's not. Are we using that as a default or listen? The Bucks did their job. They put pieces around him to make him successful. That's what a team is supposed to do. Right. We can't hold that against Giannis because the Bucks did a good job of putting the pieces around him for the team to be successful.
Great. The Bucks are great. Don't get me wrong on that. But like I said, to me, I still think they're the most overrated team in the playoffs. They can be beat at any time.
But how many years are we going to disrespect this team? How many times do they don't have to win for we to give them the respect that they deserve? Listen, they beat the team they were supposed to beat every year. They deserve our respect. They are the defending champions. I'm going to give them the respect. That's all I'm going to say. I think it's their title to lose. Me, in the beginning of the season, I thought Brooklyn was going to be the dark horse, but they did nothing. So I'm going to stay with the Bucks until they lose. But moving to the West Coast.
Okay.
Someone brought up the Jazz. And I'm going to say this about the Jazz, to me, are the New York Knicks of the West Coast. Rudy Gobert is not a max player. And when they decided to pay him like a max player, that was the biggest mistake they ever made. He only plays defense. He's not a scoring threat. And once he was taking out, once teams say, you know what, we're not gonna drive to the basket. We're gonna shoot jump shots. His whole skill set was nullified. He's not like how is on Phoenix Suns.
Booker. Yeah.
He's not able to dominate the middle. No, Ayton.
Oh, yeah, okay. Andre,
he's not able to dominate a game on the interior when teams are playing small. He's a waste. And for him to have the nerve, the audacity to go to the team and say, it's either me or him, is he crazy? What is he thinking about?
Right? Because that him part is now going to be out of Utah coming up.
Listen, I know Mitch can't be happy there. If I was Mitch, I would go into the office by, listen, if he wants me gone, trade me. I'll leave. Because, again, Utah is where no one wants to go. Who wants to play in Utah? It's cold all year long. Okay? The fan base is...
They've got a good fan base there. They've had a good fan base for a long time there.
And know why they're a good fan base? Because no one leaves Utah. Okay. If you live in Utah, if you was born in Utah, you stay in Utah because you go nowhere. Like, you're just a Utah resident.
But
there's nothing going on.
What I also like about Utah is they got a real good head coach in Quinn Snyder. He's
Utah,
a very good coach.
Listen, Utah has had a very good head coach for about 2 decades.
Right.
It means nothing. No one wants to play in Utah. No one wants to. When is the last time Utah has done anything? John, we're going back to Stockton Malone when they choked against Michael Jordan. The team has never hit that plateau. I mean, they hit the plateau. They have never gone over. Okay, if I was Donovan Mitchell, I'll be on the next thing smoking out. I'll be like, Rudy Gobert, this is your team. Congratulations, have it.
Yeah, because they said Donovan Mitchell was spotted in New York this week. I forget what he said. I think it was at either the Met game or the Yankee game this past week. They were spotted.
Why wouldn't he be?
He's a New York native to start with.
Well, he's from Connecticut, but I'm gonna say this:
Right.
why would he stay in Utah? What the hell is there to do in Utah? What's he gonna do? Farm? What's he gonna, I mean, he's gonna ride horses. He's gonna become Amish or something. What is he gonna do?
Do skiing? Who knows?
Nobody wants to be in Utah. Okay, so again, thank you, Utah Jazz, for being the team that I thought you would be. Because something is going to happen there. And hopefully, I heard a couple of trade rumors with my New York Knicks. I don't want to give up RJ. If RJ's in the trade, I don't want it. Anybody else?
Well, that you have to wait and see.
Yeah,
you don't know what you're going to do with Julius Randle. So, you have to wait for that. But I said the more entertaining one, Golden State and Memphis.
Again, that was Memphis folded up like a lawn chair. That was their game. Okay? Steph couldn't hit the side of a bucket.
Mm-hmm.
Clay was bricking. Poole he had his typical game going forward.
Right.
But their stars did nothing. That flagrant that Draymond got,
yeah.
After watching at first I was like, I don't think that was a flagrant 2. But after watching it, I didn't see him pull the jersey. I didn't see that initially. He kind of pulled the guy to the ground. That is a flagrant 2. But listen, I don't think that Golden State won that game. I think John Morant lost that game. Period.
Okay.
And I think tonight is going to be a very big game. I think tonight's game is going to be who wins the series between those two teams. Because that small ball to me, I don't like it. I think it's bad for basketball. You know what? If Jokic had had any help in Denver, we wouldn't be having this conversation. But he didn't have any help. But for Draymond Green to be playing a 5 at 6'7", and I'm giving him 6'7".
Yeah, it's 6'7", yeah.
I think is insult to basketball. And if they, by some way that they're able to get past John Morant and these Grizzlies, there's no way in God's given earth they're beating the Suns. There's no way in the world that he can stick, Draymond Green can stick
Ayton
in the post. No way. He's gonna. Yes, exactly. That's what's gonna happen in the post. It's gonna be young. It's gonna be how Shaq say it. He's gonna be barbecue chicken in the post because that guy has post moves, and all they gonna do is keep reposting until he gets the position he wants. There's no way in the world that small ball is not gonna work. And I would love to know what they're gonna do with Jordan Poole next year because the way that guy is playing, I doubt he wants to just sit behind Clay and Steph. I think that guy's hungry for stardom, and I think somebody's going to run after him and get him. Can he continue the way he's playing? I don't know, because this is a 1-year trial. He has gotten better in every situation he was. He graduated from the G League. He worked his way into rotation by playing well. So I'm not going to take away his skill level. However, it was a reason why he was in the G League. Okay? And there was a reason why the steps he took to get to where he is right now was successful. Can he continue it? I don't know. Is this just a lucky Julius Randle year for Mr. Poole? I don't know. But somebody's going to chase after him and steal him away from Golden State because I don't think he's going to be happy coming off the bench behind Clay. No, because I think Clay is a shell of himself too, but that's just another conversation for another day.
Well, I disagree with you 100%. Okay? Right now, Golden State is the team to beat in the West. By far. The small lineup works so well. And I'll tell you why. Because you have offensive threats all over the court, other than Draymond, okay, that you have to worry about. Okay? You got to remember, Wiggins has been huge for them this year. Okay? Otto Porter has been big for them this year. Okay? They're going to play to the lineup of what the opponents are playing. Memphis is not a tall team. Yes, Phoenix is tall. But remember, they got Kevon Looney, okay, who can start, and who started half the year for them. Okay? Second of all, Poole will be staying with them because next year Clay is moving to the 3. He's already sat there and said, I will move to small forward to keep Poole. They want this kid on the team, by far. Wiggins' contract is out. Porter's contract is out. You get Wiseman back next year, and you still have enough room under the cap to go get a quality free agent. They have. Okay, that's first off. Second off, you're going to sit there and tell me that you can't win with small ball. You can win small. You can win any kind of ball. Okay, you got one of the best coaches in the league, Steve Kerr. Can coach anybody. Okay, I love how they're playing. Yes, Memphis blew the game the other day. I agree with you 100%. By far. Okay, because the reason why they lost that game wasn't Morant. It's because they shut down Desmond Bane.
No, Bane kind of shut himself down. He had a
biggest threat. They shut him down. He had a bad game.
Yes, he had a terrible game.
He don't play for that team. They don't win. Period.
I agree.
No matter what Morant does, Morant can put 45 or 50 up a night. If Desmond Bane doesn't come up and show up on these games, they're going to get killed early.
I'm going to say this. The reason I have a problem with small ball, okay, is the fact that one thing about jump shooters, when that shot is not going, what is your second option? Golden State has been living and dying with that jumper. If and when they get up against the Phoenix Suns, a team that switches everything and stays home, what are they going to do? Because Phoenix protects the perimeter. Phoenix has some of the best defenders. Peyton, 100-year-old daggone Chris Paul, Booker, 00, what's his name?
Jamison Crowder.
Listen, they all play outstanding defense. So that old shooting from 3 bombs away open, that's not happening. I'm telling you right now. So if you think they're gonna win against Phoenix Suns playing small ball, there's no way.
They're gonna suck Kevon Looney. Looney's gonna play a lot more if they play Phoenix.
Looney can't stick Ayton, man. He can't stick.
He has to play defense. That's what he's gonna do.
You can put the problem with the Golden State Warriors is they do not have a legitimate center on their roster. In the regular season, you can get away with that small ball teams. No, they're not playing back-to-back games. You're not playing the same team over and over and over like the playoffs. In the playoffs, you have to have it. In the NBA, I don't care what, you have to have a center, a serviceable center. The reason why Utah Jazz were able to make the playoffs every year, but they fold up like a lawn chair, is because they have a serviceable center. But when they get to the playoffs, he's exposed because he's an offensive liability. Phoenix doesn't have that problem. Golden State Warriors don't have a center. When their jump shots are not falling, what is the team going to do?
They're going to drive more. They're going to drive more on this team, and here's the reason why. You got Paul that's older. Booker's coming off an injury, which he's still not 100% healthy, period. Okay? They're a quicker team than Phoenix. Golden State is. A much quicker team. If they play small ball, they're going to be quicker. That's going to be hard to stop.
I'm telling you right now, only thing that's 100% right now for Golden State Warrior is Mr. Poole. Wiggins has not shot the ball well in the playoffs. Steph is struggling from the field. Klay Thompson is struggling from the field. They got lucky, like I said, the last night. All right, and the only reason they rolled over Denver because they was playing 1-on-5 every game. It was Jokic against Golden State. All right, so that small ball only worked because nobody on Denver can play defense for some strange reason. This series, right, John Morant and those Memphis Grizzlies, they play defense. Like I said, Golden State got lucky. Tonight is going to be the night. Tonight you're going to see the real Memphis Grizzlies. And I'm telling you right now.
If Bane don't play tonight, they're done. Memphis will be done. Memphis will be done. Because Golden State's not losing at home.
Again, if they continue with this small ball and Klay continues to shoot the ball like he's shooting the ball and Curry continues to shoot the ball like he's shooting the ball, they're going to lose this series.
I'll put it this way. I'm seeing Steph putting up 35 to 40 tonight easily. Easily.
Steph isn't shooting so bad. He's been missing free throws. Okay, listen. I'm a Steph Curry fan. I believe in his skill level. I believe in his jump shot. But when his jumper is not falling, and Klay Thompson defense is not the Klay Thompson before injury, and his jump shot is not as pure as it was before injury. Because guess what? Any basketball player you can go down the list. Once you lose your legs, you lose your shot. Klay Thompson's shot is not the same. He doesn't get the same elevation on his shot. He doesn't get the same rotation on the shot. He's not right yet. Maybe in another year, he might be a little better, but right now, he's not the man. The reason why they're still alive right now is because of Poole. And if he has a bad game, it's over.
I put it this way: you're gonna see the real Golden State team tonight. I see Curry going for, like I said, like 35 tonight. I can see Klay Thompson doing 25. I can see Poole doing 20. Draymond might have a triple-double. You don't know with him. He can have a triple-double any night of the week. He can. Draymond, if he doesn't get played stupid like he did the other night. To me, I didn't think that was a flagrant 2. Flagrant 1, yes. Flagrant 2, no.
Again, it was questionable. I agree with you. Before I saw the replay, again, when you pull somebody's jersey and you pull them to the ground, that's a flagrant 2 all day.
You've seen that plenty of times in the playoffs so far this year.
A player pulling somebody to the ground?
Giannis did that. Giannis did that in the previous series. He did that, and they called no foul on whatsoever.
I have to go to the videotape on that one. And before we go any further, I put a video up last night of Luka Doncic. We're going to jump to Dallas real quick.
Yeah, we'll jump to Dallas, yes.
Okay. He's the slowest player I've ever seen in my life. He seems to get anywhere he wants to go on the court. But to me, he's playing a little too cocky, and he's crying every play.
Yes.
All right. You know what? Instead of crying, Luka, I know you're probably not watching this show, but maybe someone will share it and tell him what I'm telling you guys right now. Stop crying and get back on defense.
Yeah.
He's always the last one up court. Every single play, he's getting his tactics are getting old and tiresome.
Quickly.
Okay? He's killing that team. He's supposed to be the star, and he's killing the team because he takes bad shots and he cries on every single play.
And that reminds me, like I said, I'm watching these games. I'm watching Giannis crying, Tatum crying.
And listen, those guys cry. I'm not going to take that away. I'm not going to take that from you. But Luka cries every single, and it doesn't. And know how the guys look at the referee and say, "Yo, I got fouled." Luka goes into a attack
like a 12-year-old kid.
Yes, and I know what the playoffs make you watch players more in depth. And I'm watching Luka, and I'm saying to myself, every time Dallas starts to make a run, he starts crying, begging for calls, kills the momentum of the game,
right?
And it's over.
But that's like every superstar in the NBA, though. You've seen it. Randall does it all the time. You know that is a fact. Julius Randle, of course.
He's not a superstar, though, but go ahead.
I'm saying, no, he's the star of the team, right? He's supposed to be the star of the team. He's crying about everything, right? Kyrie's crying about everything. Durant's crying. It doesn't matter. Everybody's crying is what it comes down to.
Not as much as Luka, bro. Again, I agree with you. The whole NBA, all these stars, I think it's in the playbook for them to say that they were fouled, so the referee looks at the next play closely.
The WNBA should be the whining National Basketball Association instead of the WNBA for the women.
Again, no disagreement from me. But all I'm saying is that these guys, as you're crying, get back on defense. Okay? Don't give your team a chance.
Yeah.
All right. Luka didn't give Dallas any chance. And you know what? I feel like Dallas is another team that does not have a center.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
so
yeah,
how do you can
by the way, just to cut in, Boston's up 25, about to go into half.
Okay, Chet, you might be right today.
Yeah.
Okay. But that's not just don't get in the habit of thinking you're going to be correct, all right?
But back to what you say though, yeah, no, and I agree with you. I said a lot of superstars like that in the NBA do that, like they don't go back on D. I've seen that too many times.
I don't understand why To me, it kills the game. Why cry about a foul and then let your team go 5-on-4?
Right.
So now you're crying about a foul and then you're giving up 2 points.
Right.
And I think that's what killed the Grizzlies in the Grizzlies game against the Warriors, because I think Morant went to the basket.
Right. He
was crying.
He was fouled. He definitely was fouled.
He was fouled. They didn't call it. He was crying for a foul. Meanwhile, Golden State was going the other direction at 100 miles per hour.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Right, because they're looking for you to cry.
Of course they are. I mean, that's what I said. That's the NBA these days. Is everybody's crying. If you're a top guy, oh, I got fouled, I got hacked, I got this. Play ball and shut up.
Exactly. But you know what? I just looked at the time. It is 8 o'clock. Yes, before you go, what's your predictions for tonight?
Well, tonight, I think, like I said, I think Golden State wins tonight to make it 2-0.
You say Golden State don't win? I think the Grizzlies is going to win. But we'll see. Once again, I appreciate the time.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining us tonight. And by the way, this podcast was sponsored again by 106th Street Tire and Wheel. Get your tire and wheel stuff at 106 Tire and Wheel, Corona, New York. And that'll take care of it for this week. Don't forget to tune in Monday to the Baseball Power Hour with Lou, Billy, and Brian. And then we will be back next Tuesday for more New York sports action, including the NBA playoffs. Steele, it was a pleasure tonight as always.
As always, bro. And before we really check out of here, I would like to thank Lou for putting the whammy on the Yankees. That's why they're winning all these games, because he swore it was over for the Yankees early. But the Yankees are back, baby. We're back, and we're going.
There it is, the bunch.
The New York Yankees, baby. Thanks for tuning in, guys.
Enjoy the week. We will speak to you next Tuesday. Peace.